tov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad. How sweet it is, how good that we can be here together as one extended WRT family, bound together in love, bound together in hope for a better year ahead, bound together tonight in celebration of our Assistant Rabbi Alyssa Platkow, who's officially installed this evening, though she has been serving our congregation with eagerness and diligence and love for over a year now. How joyful it is to share this moment with you in the Shabbat, back here in our beautiful sanctuary after the summer where we daven in the CJL, the smaller satellite sanctuary, which has its own loveliness and warmth, but boy, does this room feel good tonight. I'm Rabbi Jonathan Blake. I'm joined on the bima by lots of people. So let me start over here, our temple president, Steve Maskett, and then to my right, your left, my left, your right, Rabbi Leah Citrin, Rabbi Alyssa Platkow, to my right, your left, Cantor Amanda Kleinman, Micah Glickman, the rabbinic intern of our congregation, and now a fourth-year student at Hebrew Union College, and his classmate, Phil Fisherman, our cantorial intern, also made it to his fourth year of cantorial studies at HUC, our assistant cantor, Isaac Sonat-Asor, and we're joined tonight by these incredible musicians whom we'd also like to introduce to you.
We are very excited because this is our first time having the band back together again since the summer. So we all know Don Santos on flute, Jerome Morris on percussion, and our pianist and conductor, Pete Malinverni. And we're very happy to introduce Gilad Efrat on bass, who some of you may have met when he was visiting from Israel for a few months last year. Gilad is now, for the time being, living in the States. You'll see him frequently here at WRT. He is a very special musician, and we are very fortunate to have him playing with our band this evening, too.
Over the last almost 2 years, we Jewish people have managed to figure out something that defies logic, which is how to celebrate and love with a heart that is shattered. Tonight, this Shabbat marks 700 days since October 7th, 700 days that our hostages have been in captivity, tortured and starved in the tunnels of Gaza, 700 days of fighting and brutality and loss of life, 700 days of incredible courage, resilience, love, and altruism, 700 days of anti-Semitic protest and hatred. How all of this coexists, I cannot explain, and yet here we are. So we've placed these candles on the bima tonight, these blue candles as we have for the last 700 days. Flickering flames, 48 in number, to represent the 48 still in captivity, some living, some not living. We'd like to, before entering the joyful rituals of our Kabbalat Shabbat service, to ask the congregation to hold 70 seconds of silence for them. Would you please rise? A shattering sound calls us to greater awareness and awakening at this season throughout the weeks of the Hebrew month of Elul, which leads us up to the coming of the new year. We are now, I'm counting, 17 days from the start of the new year. Rosh Hashanah begins on Monday, the 22nd of September. Each day in the month of Elul, shofarot are sounded to remind us that we need to awaken ourselves to the best within us, to the hopes and dreams that our people have stored up from generation to generation. We're so happy that Alexander and Gabriel Mutterpearl know how to play a shofar. And we would love for Alexander and Gabriel to come to the front of the room tonight, stand on the bima, as we are summoned to the sound of their shofarot.
Tekiah, Shivari, Teruah, Tekiah Gedolah. Shakoach.
Shakoach.
Please join us in singing the song of the season, these words from Psalm 27.
That's cool. Who's doing that? Oh, that's a phone? I thought that was Jerome.
I thought it was Jerome too. It was like the chimes and.
Amazing. All right. We hear you. Really? Okay. It's all good. Season of new beginnings, new possibilities. We have the first B'nai Mitzvah who will join us on the bima for this coming cycle of B'nai Mitzvah. So first in his grade, Danny Millman will celebrate Bar Mitzvah tomorrow morning. And later in the afternoon, not first in her grade, but first of the 8th graders to be called forward to Torah tomorrow as Bat Mitzvah in the afternoon, India Frankel. And we also celebrate the Bar Mitzvah also tomorrow of Nash Levy. So we would love any and all, that's Thursday, thank you. We would love for all of this week's coming B'nai Mitzvah to join us on the bima with your families to help us kindle the lights for Shabbat.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu le'adlik ner shel
So even as the first candles we shared with the community tonight are these flickering flames for our hostages, so too the candles you've kindled tonight remind us of the possibility of light and learning, of warmth and wisdom. And you're bringing all of those gifts into our community and into the world by celebrating Bar and Bat Mitzvah. We're so proud of you. We wish all of you Mazal Tov and hope that the weekend that you're about to experience will reward you with a lifetime of smiles and joy. Mazel Tov. Thank you. Shabbat Shalom. Direct our eyes again to the screen above us as we pray together traditional words that celebrate the coming of Shabbat. Lechu neranana ladonai. Let us sing out unto the divine. Now we'll welcome Shabbat envisaged as a bride. So we're going to create a kind of joyful spiritual wedding here as we sing Lecha Dodi. The words can be found in your prayer books now on page 138. Follow our lead because we'll be skipping a few verses. When you hear me tell you it's time to turn to page 139, that's when it's time to turn to page 139. When we get to the last verse, I'll invite the entire congregation to rise and face the entrance to the sanctuary. At that time, all who are able to rise, please do because the Shabbat bride wants to come in and celebrate with us. Page 138, Lecha Dodi.
Shabbat. את בעלה, גם בשמחה ובצהלה. תוך אמוני עם סגולה, בואי חלה.
Our call to worship the Baruch Hu, page 146.
Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed.
אהבת עולם, בית ישראל, עמך אהבת, תורה ומצוות, חוקים ומשפטים, אותנו לימדת. Page 150. אהבת עולם, בית ישראל, עמך אהבת, תורה ומצוות, חוקים ומשפטים, אותנו לימדת. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך ושרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
In this moment, it is my pleasure to invite up someone who has inspired Rabbi Plakow, our colleague, Rabbi Melissa Beyer-Whitman.
At the edge of the sea, our people once stood still, paralyzed between the waters ahead and the army behind. And then one heart stepped forward, Nachshon, waded into the waves, and with his courage, the sea split and the people found their song. Every generation has its Nachshons, those willing to step into uncharted waters with faith and conviction. From the moment I met Rabbi Alyssa Plakow, I knew she carried that same spirit. When she was still discerning her path, she came to me with questions, not small ones, but big ones. What does it mean to teach, to lead, to live a life of Torah? She gave up her own lunch hours to sit with me, hungry, not for food, well, maybe a little bit for food, but for wisdom. She challenged herself to grow as an educator, always seeking feedback, always striving for more. I watched her walk into classrooms, into conversations, into responsibilities, with the courage of one who is still learning, but also already leading. That is who Alyssa is. Passionate, thoughtful, steadfast, and brave. She does not wait on the shore for the waters to part. She steps in. And in doing so, she inspires all of us to move forward with her. That now it is fitting. At this moment of her installation, we sing the song Born at the Sea, Mi Chamocha, the song of courage, of freedom, and of faith. May these ancient words rise now as both our prayer and our blessing for Rabbi Alyssa as she continues to guide this community forward.
נאמר כי פדה אדוני את יעקב, וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו. ברוך אתה אדוני, גאל ישראל.
We ask for God's shelter of peace with the words of Hashkivenu, page 160.
Hashkivenu, Adonai, Eloheinu, Leshalom, Leshalom.
Hashkivenu, Hashkivenu, Adonai, Eloheinu, Leshalom.
Ve'hamidenu, shomreinu lechaim, u'leshalom, u'leshalom. Hashkivenu, Hashkivenu, Eloheinu, Leshalom, ufros aleinu, sukkah shlomecha.
Adonai, Eloheinu.
Hashkivenu, Eloheinu, Leshalom. Adonai, Eloheinu,
Page 164. Please rise.
Adonai sfatai tiftach. Adonai sfatai tiftach. Ufi yadi
Baruch atah Adonai,
Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu ve'imotenu, Elohei Abraham,
אלוהי רחל ואלוהי לאה, האל הגדול, הגיבור והנורא, אל עליון, גומל חסדים טובים, וקונה הכל, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה, מלך עוזר מושיע ומגן. ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם בעזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי הכל אתה רב והושיע. מוריד אתה, מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים. סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו בשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות, ומי מלך, מלך ממית ומחיה, ומצליח ישועה, ונאמן אתה לחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני, מחיי הכל. 170. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלע. ברוך אתה אדוני, האל הקדוש.
We turn inward now for Tfilat Halev, the silent prayers of our hearts. You're invited to continue with the words in our Siddur through page 181, or to offer whatever words may be on your heart, and you may be seated when you have finished your prayer.
The psalmist was right. Kosi rivaya, my cup overflows with joy, overflows with this full sanctuary filled with pride and love. And as Rabbi Melissa Beyer-Whitman pointed out to me as she was stepping down from the bima, overflows with music on this bima. She actually said, do you have to have like some kind of certain musical qualification to get onto this bima? The answer is no, but it helps. And we wish you, Melissa, a heartfelt mazel tov and b'hatzlacha as you take on the leadership of your new congregation, Community Synagogue in Port Washington. That congregation is most fortunate to have such a wonderful leader. I share a board seat on the board of the Central Conference of American Rabbis with Melissa. We're so happy to have you and so many other amazing rabbinical and cantorial colleagues and friends of Rabbi Platkow with us tonight. Just by a show of hands, if you're one of Rabbi Platkow's friends or colleagues, just raise your hand, or family, raise your hands. So our cups overflow with gratitude for the fact that Rabbi Platkow has brought us here tonight. I want to share just one of several emails that I got this week from congregants, some of whom are convalescing and unable to join us, others of whom are still traveling, will be back in time for the holidays but couldn't make it in person. One such congregant wrote, "Dear Jonathan, it is with the greatest of pleasure that I write about Rabbi Platkow. At a recent Friday night service, I was delighted to hear her speaking about her life's experiences. Truly, I wanted to hear more, and so I contacted her by email. Not only did she respond almost immediately to my request, but our conversation was most enlightening. She went on to tell me that you talked about snails. Talked about Rabbi Platkow's favorite animal is a snail. I never would have guessed because Rabbi Platkow wants to run and leap and dive into everything headlong at full speed. She will be, our writer writes, a wonderful spiritual leader at WRT, and along with other members of the congregation, I add my appreciation for her kindness and generosity of spirit." This is one of several such messages, and that's testimony to the way in which you, Rabbi Platkow, have touched the hearts and the minds of our congregation. When we interviewed Rabbi Platkow, we knew that she was the one for us when she answered the following question. We said, "What are you looking for and why WRT?" And Rabbi Platkow, who wasn't yet rabbi, she was just Alyssa, a few months before her ordination in May of 2024, she said, "Look, I'm just looking for an excellent home where I can serve Am Yisrael, the Jewish people." That is a quality and a desire in very short supply these days among our people. To have somebody with that pure desire to serve truly allows us to say tonight, Kosi rivaya, our cup runneth over. And so it was no surprise that when we asked Alyssa whom she wanted to install her to offer remarks, that she went straight for the best of the best. And she said, "I would like for Rolly, my mentor, guide, teacher, and friend, to install me." Jose Rolando Matalon, affectionately known as Rolly, is the senior rabbi and Rosh Kehillah, head of the community of Congregation B'nai Jeshurun in Manhattan. Born in Buenos Aires, he was educated there at the Seminario, which is one of the great institutions of higher Jewish learning, and was mentored by his dear friend and teacher and one of the great leaders of the Jewish people in the 20th century, Rabbi Marshall T. Meyer. They came together to serve this pulpit and transform it. Together they revitalized that congregation, and if you've ever been to BJ, as it is affectionately known on the Upper West Side, you know it is a place of vibrant prayer, learning, service, social justice, interfaith cooperation, and involvement in its local neighborhood. After Rabbi Meyer's death in 1993, Rabbi Matalon became BJ's spiritual leader. He was joined by his colleague, Rabbi Marcelo Bronstein, in 1995, and by Rabbi Felicia Saul in 2001. And with the support of Rebecca Weintraub and Chazan Ari Priven, Rabbis Matalon and Saul now lead a vibrant, diverse community of nearly 2,000 households. This visionary leadership has seeped into all corners of the Jewish world that wish to innovate in how to pray and learn and do social justice. And one such congregation that you know that has been touched by the vision of Rabbi Matalon is Westchester Reformed Temple in Scarsdale, New York. I would dare say that no congregation that cares about music and prayer the way we do can claim to have done it by ourselves, but rather we owe such a debt of gratitude to the vision of rabbis like Rolly. We every time we pray together, we do so with a little bit of Rabbi Matalon guiding our steps. He is a co-founding director of Piyut North America, now Global Piyut Music. He is an outstanding player of the oud. What's an oud? Does anyone know? You guys know what an oud is? It's a stringed instrument from the Middle East. Its familiar sound is one that we associate with Middle Eastern music. He is deeply involved in human rights, peace, and supporting the people of Israel. I could go on at length, but he advised me not to. And therefore, it gives me great pleasure to ask Rabbi Rolando Matalon to join us on the Bima tonight to offer remarks of installation and to wish our community a heartfelt Shabbat Shalom.
Thank you so much, Rabbi Blake. That was very generous. I'm not sure that's me, but I'm very grateful for the invitation to be here, Rabbi Blake, other rabbis and cantors, on this very special Shabbat of the installation of Rabbi Lisa Platko. I'm also very happy to see many familiar faces, which makes it less scary. I want to say some remarks about this week's Torah portion. Last week's Torah portion, Parshat Shoftim, dealt with public officials, judges, kings, prophets, priests, and military leaders, and the limits placed on their power. This week's reading, Parshat Ki Tetzeh, shifts the focus from leaders to ordinary people, from the halls of power to the details of everyday life. This is the Torah portion with the most mitzvot. 72 of the 613 commandments appear in this week's reading more than any other in the Torah. Listen to these laws that call for doing what is right and protecting human dignity. If a soldier sees a woman among captives and desires her, he cannot simply take her. He must treat her with respect and dignity in order to marry her. If a man has two wives, one loved and the other unloved, and his firstborn son is from the unloved wife, he may not disregard that son in order to give the rights of the firstborn to the son of the loved wife. If someone is executed and hung on a stake, the body must not remain exposed overnight and be subject to humiliation. It must be buried immediately. Alongside these, there are other commandments that guide us towards doing what is good and right, returning lost property, building a guardrail on the roof of a house to prevent accidents, sending away the mother bird before taking her young or the eggs, giving sanctuary to escaped slaves, paying workers fairly, and refraining from cheating with weights and measures. Taken together, these commandments form a kind of ethical handbook for daily life. And here we are, well into the month of Elul, with Rosh Hashanah just over 2 weeks away. Now is the time for soul searching. How have we lived this past year? Where have we missed the mark? How can we come closer to the best version of ourselves? This week's Torah portion reminds us that the answers aren't found only in grand moments, but in the small details of daily life. Holiness is found in how we live each ordinary day, how we practice what is good, fair, and right. I'd like to focus on one commandment in particular. The Torah says, "You shall not see your neighbor's ox or sheep gone astray and ignore them. You must take them back to your neighbor. And if your neighbor does not live near you, or you do not know them, you shall bring it home, and it shall remain with you until your neighbor claims it. You must not remain indifferent." one cannot just look away and pretend not to see. We are commanded to go out of our way. Maimonides teaches that returning what is lost nurtures good character and builds trust. Returning lost property is fundamental to the proper functioning of society. Society thrives not on suspicion and selfishness, but on people who care for one another and one another's property. Rabbi Moshe al-Sheikh, who lived in Tzfat in the 16th century, described this commandment as aspirational. It trains us to overcome our natural selfish instincts until we can no longer avert our eyes from another person's need. And yet, it is so easy to look away. We're all busy and our resources are limited. Who has the time or the funds to be the keeper of someone else's property? Rabbi Doniel Hartman teaches that these laws are not only about individual behavior, they shape the public square itself. He writes, "The public arena becomes safe when it is a space of fellow keepers, in which individuals recognize their responsibility not merely to refrain from harming others, but to care for and to respond to their needs. This is the aim of the laws of lost property." The Torah urges us, you must not remain indifferent over and over in so many different ways. One could say that the entire Torah is an elaboration and a training manual in non-indifference. It is hard spiritual work on the soul and a demanding system of practice because non-indifference requires smashing the mirror of self-interest. A story from the Jerusalem Talmud illustrates this principle. In antiquity, many rabbis refused to receive financial compensation for performing their rabbinic duties. Not us, but in antiquity. Rabbi Shimon ben Shetach made his living in the flax trade. His students wanted to ease his work and to afford him more time to teach Torah, so they bought him a donkey. As they brought the donkey to Rabbi Shimon, they discovered something extraordinary. A precious stone was tangled in the donkey's neck, worth a small fortune. They were so excited. Their teacher would never have to work again and could devote himself entirely to his teaching. They knew that even while it is wrong to cheat a non-Jew, Jewish law allows keeping an object that is lost by an idolater. They urged their teacher to keep it. But Shimon ben Shetach refused. He ordered his students to return the precious stone to its original owner, saying, "What do you think, that I'm a barbarian? I would rather hear people say, 'Blessed be the God of the Jews,' than profit from dishonesty in this world." The story is a perfect illustration of our commandment on lost property. It is not about the value of the object. It is about refusing indifference and choosing integrity over self-interest or greed. And that is part of the work of Elul leading to Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. Returning lost property is not just about objects. It is about restoring what has been lost within ourselves, our integrity, our attentiveness, our willingness to care for others. As we prepare for the new year, the question is, will we refuse to turn away? Will we notice what needs our attention and act? The Torah knows our human tendencies very well, to avert our eyes, to rationalize, to claim we are too busy, to justify indifference. But in this season of Elul, Parashat Ki Tetzeh calls us to look inward and ask, when have we covered our eyes? Where have we looked the other way and chosen indifference? Where have we failed to notice the losses, the needs, the pain of others in our family, in our community, at work or in the street, in the larger social sphere? Elie Wiesel reminded us that the opposite of love is not hate, but indifference. We see this not only in our private lives, but also in our shared public life. So many of the crises we face in America, in Israel, and across the world are not only political or economic in nature. At their core, they reflect a deeper moral and spiritual failing, mostly stemming from our inclination to look away. When we accept indifference as normal, society fractures, trust erodes, and the very bonds that hold communities together begin to unravel. Elul is the time to begin to retrain ourselves, to notice, to respond, to resist indifference. This might be a good place to prepare ourselves to welcome the new year. And tonight, as we reflect on this sacred work, we also lift up a leader who embodies the opposite of indifference, one who notices, who cares, who responds with courage and compassion. I want to say a few words about Rabbi Alisa Platko. Alisa was a rabbinic fellow at my congregation, B'nai Jeshurun in Manhattan, from 2022 to 2024, during the last 2 years of her rabbinical studies at HUC. The fellowship is an intensive mentorship program. It has been a pleasure and a privilege to mentor Alisa, and it has been a great pleasure as well to get to know Miranda, her wife, who also became very much part of our community. Alisa's journey reflects the ethic of non-indifference I have been discussing. From her own experiences navigating barriers and exclusion as a young Jew, she understood early on the power of embracing others, of refusing to turn away when someone is in need, whether spiritually, emotionally, educationally, or materially. In the essay she submitted with her application to the fellowship, she wrote, "I learned the power a rabbi holds to make people feel embraced or excluded. This midah, this quality of embrace, to draw near or lehit karev, will define my rabbinate." That's what you wrote. Even before joining the BJ community as a rabbinic fellow, Alisa understood the impact of a religious leader's attentiveness or lack thereof on people's lives. She has carried that awareness into every aspect of her rabbinate, consistently noticing needs and responding with care and integrity. One remarkable example is her work founding the New York City's first reformed Chevra Kadisha, a sacred burial society serving progressive and unaffiliated Jews across the city. Under her leadership, volunteers of all ages and backgrounds learned to perform the ritual purification and care for the deceased with respect, tenderness, and attention to each individual's dignity. Families could feel that their loved ones were honored and embraced until their final resting place. For this pioneering work, Rabbi Platko was recognized in 2024 as one of Jewish Week's 36 to watch. At BJ, Alisa has been avid for learning, has taught Torah with love, ensuring that everyone, regardless of background, age, or experience, can take ownership of their tradition. She has worked to create spaces where everyone could feel welcomed and included, where prayer, song, and learning drew people near. She has shown a strong connection and love for liturgy and prayer. She has been devoted to the serious study of Jewish classical texts and has guided people spiritually with wisdom and compassion. Please come. On July 1st, 2024, Rabbi Elisa Platko joined the clergy team here at Westchester Reformed Temple as assistant rabbi. You are very lucky and fortunate to have her, and you are very fortunate to serve this amazing community. Alisa, on the special Shabbat of your installation, I want to offer you this blessing with love and respect. Rabbi Alisa Platko, Harav Aliza, Sarah Bat Yehuda, Avraham Alevi, may God grant you the blessings of faith, of wisdom, creativity, passion, sensitivity, and patience. May your heart reflect understanding, your mouth speak wisdom, and your tongue carry forth song. May you lead God's people with love, courage, and integrity in times of gladness and in times of sorrow. May your eyes be enlightened with the light of Torah, so that you may bring God's people closer to lives of Torah, of holiness, of real commitment to heal God's world and to feel God's presence and hear echoes of God's voice. May you heal and be healed. May you offer peace and find peace. May you love and be truly loved.
This time we'd like to invite forward my clergy colleagues and Rabbi Matalon. Thank you for your beautiful remarks. Your presence on the bima here tonight is a testament to the respect with which Rabbi Platkow holds you, as do we, as well as this incredible gift of friendship between our two congregations, as well as the commitment to Jewish learning and inspiration exemplified by the family of our beloved member and past president, Margie Miller. Each year, the Marjorie and Morgan of Blessed Memory Miller Fund allows us to bring an incredible scholar to be in residence with us for a weekend. So we will have the great good fortune to learn more with Rabbi Matalon tomorrow morning at a community-wide Shabbat service that will be filled with music, prayer, learning, wisdom, and our shared community. There'll be some nosh as well. And then we look forward to the congregation getting to interact with Rolly after services tonight as well. Truly, we're in the presence of one of the great rabbinic leaders of our time. We feel so fortunate, and we're so grateful to you, Margie, and your family for allowing us to continue to have the best and most inspiring scholarship year after year. Thank you. In addition to my clergy colleagues who are going now to place a talit over Rabbi Platkow's head where she can see the hanging tzitzit or the fringes which represent all of the mitzvot, a great preponderance of which are found in this week's parashah, I would love to invite forward Rabbi Platkow's family, starting with Miranda and her parents and her in-laws. If you are related by blood or marriage to our new assistant rabbi, come up and you'll join hands as well and extend the circle of blessing.
יברכך אדוני וישמרך.
May God bless you and keep you.
יאר אדוני פניו אליך ויחונך.
May the light of the divine shine into your heart and allow you to shine out that light of Torah to others.
יישא אדוני פניו אליך וישם לך שלום.
May the divine countenance bless you with a smile of love and the radiance of shalom, of peace, of wholeness, and of the completion of your journey to this moment. Mazal tov. Mazal tov. Thank you.
Cantor Sonnet Asor, and I would like to add just one more blessing tonight, a blessing in song. These are words that come to us from the Hasidic Rabbi Nachman of Breslov. Even in the hidden places, certainly the one of the blessed name is also found there. Even through the hard times that befall you, I stand with you.
Rabbi Platkow taught me and many of our recently ordained colleagues this song over a retreat this past summer. I still have the recording of many different rabbis and cantors singing this tune together, led by Rabbi Platkow. Rabbi, my friend, thank you for teaching us to find the holy in the hidden places.
ואפילו בהסתרה, שבתוך ההסתרה, בוודאי גם שם, נמצא השם יתברך.
ואפילו בהסתרה, שבתוך ההסתרה, בוודאי גם שם נמצא השם יתברך. ואפילו בהסתרה, שבתוך ההסתרה, בוודאי גם שם נמצא השם יתברך. ואפילו בהסתרה,
I'm not really sure how a person is supposed to now speak. And I would say that I'm speechless, but like all good rabbis, of course, I have something prepared. It is not only an immense honor to be installed here as your new assistant rabbi, but even to stand, we'll get through it together. Even to stand on the WRT Bima, a place of historic Jewish leadership. This proverbial Bima was graced by the legendary kindness and compassion of Rabbi Jack Stern, who, in fact, I just learned yesterday that in a time when rabbis were fiery preachers and otherwise rather stoic, Rabbi Stern would kneel down and high-five little boys and girls. He brought an incredible amount of joy and kindness to moments, and that lives on in all of those who remember him, whoever knew him. This bima was built by Rabbi Rick Jacobs, not by hand, but you understand, whose fervent dedication to inclusion, innovation, and tikkun olam inspired people of all ages and stages to roll up their sleeves and pursue justice. It was on this bima that Cantor Stephen Merkel's voice stirred the souls of this congregation, not to mention seemingly single-handedly prolonging the use of Yiddish in Scarsdale. It was at WRT that Debbie Friedman infused services with intimacy and joy, where Rabbi Cantor Angela Buchdahl performed Purim spiels that would have every person roaring with laughter so much that tears were spilling out of their eyes. It's a place where countless rabbis and cantors, David Levy, Sasha Bacon, Daniel Reeser, Jill Abramson, and so many more have sung, preached, grown, and brought meaning into this world, only with the help of those in this congregation. And if I included the tremendous efforts and achievements of the absolutely incredible and sophisticated lay leadership here, we would not just be here all night, but we might be here until next Shabbat. So just standing on this bima, kosi revaya, my cup overflows. Just as my cup overflows tonight with joy, so too our Torah portion, Ki Teitzei, overflows with mitzvot. Somehow, Rabbi Roli Matalon and I chose the exact same verse to preach on tonight. There are mitzvot about almost any kind of relationship possible in Ki Teitzei. Relationships with the most vulnerable in our community, the widow, the orphan, the stranger, our relationships with animals, ourselves, and God. It includes how we interact with those inside and outside of our communities, and also in good or in bad times. You read just a moment ago, if you see your fellow's ox or sheep gone astray, do not ignore it. You must take it back to your fellow. You shall do the same with that person's donkey. You shall do the same with that person's garment. You shall do the same with anything that your fellow loses and you find. And then we have the words, lo tuchal lehit alem. These last words are most often translated, you cannot, or sometimes you shall not ignore it. But the Hasidic master Kedushat Levi adds another level. He writes, do not read, you shall not ignore it, the lost item. Instead, read, you shall not ignore them, the person who lost the item. From here, he continues, in the face of another's loss, suffering, or lack, we read these three words on their own, not along with all of this losing, but just by itself. You cannot ignore them. We may not ignore it. And WRT, in so many ways, you have already shown me what this mitzvah really means. When a person loses a loved one, many of you show up at their home for Shiva, even if you never knew that person or even if you don't know the bereaved family. You cannot ignore their need. Each Monday, you organize and gather Cooking for Hope, which distributes 150 meals every single time. In the days leading up to Thanksgiving, you bring your children. You shall teach your children, Vidibartabam. You bring your children, and together you put our industrial-grade kitchen to good use, preparing Thanksgiving meals for those who would otherwise not have. You cannot ignore it. Our B'nai Mitzvah students, with whom I have the privilege to work, craft Lo Ta'amod projects that do not simply solicit donations for those in need, but from start to finish, they create and execute a project that hits home for them. They swim laps to raise money, they collect food, they bake huge amounts of treats, and often meet people affected by their volunteerism. They play sports and tutor children with disabilities. They deliver meals to those in need and serve food to the homeless. You teach them that they cannot ignore the suffering of the other. Our amazing confirmation class, who I had the opportunity to teach this past year, two of whom I see, maybe there are more, but I see two of you. You all raised quite a large amount of money in the confirmation and teen car wash, and then chose to donate it to the Pleasantville cottages, where some of you volunteer regularly, in order to help those who are really in need of funding and really in need of that love that you give them with your person and that you're able to give them through giving them material needs. Your dedication to this mitzvah, WRT, is large. It's on a large scale as well. A couple years ago, you filed paperwork and bought kitchenware and all kinds of other things and resettled two very special refugee women from Chad who learned English at a rapid pace and actually sermonized here on this bima a few months ago. You raised the necessary funds not to ignore, and just recently, you provided a home, safety, and stability for a family of 5 as well. You are saving their lives. And on Yom Kippur afternoon, we heard how our congregants, in the wake of October 7th, decided to see themselves as Jewish leaders who are not only able to, but obligated to affect change on a world scale. To just name a few, Yoel Magid worked tirelessly, inspiring us to partner with Kibbutz Be'eri to rebuild after the incredible violence wrought on the kibbutz by October 7th. Mimi Roca raised awareness on an international stage for all of those women who had been raped, mutilated, kidnapped, whose voices had been taken away from them. Ruth Sussman notified us that there is extreme boycotting of Jewish art and artists throughout the world and urged us to support a medium that expresses what words cannot. The words of our parsha, Lo tucha lahit aleim, are words that this community lives by. I want to bring us back to the third of those 3 words. The word is translated for us as ignore. But if we dive into the grammar for a moment, and please humor me, we see that the root of the word ayin lamed mem usually means actually conceal. Plus, it's a reflexive verb. In other words, when we ignore the plight of another, we are concealing ourselves. When we untether ourselves from those around us, we all but disappear. This is a teaching that I learned at BJ from Rowley. After being so concerned with what I should do, how I should fit in, what prayer I should say, I, Rowley and his co-senior rabbi, Felicia Saul, taught me that not only is it not about me, but without you, there's no me at all. Without you, there's no me, and without you, there's no we. There's no larger congregation, nothing tethering us to each other. We might as well disappear. But that is not how WRT lives their lives as a community and as individuals. I want to share one more teaching about relationships, one that is not in our Torah portion, but in Pirkei Avot, Aseh lecha rav uknei lecha chaver. Make for yourself a teacher and acquire for yourself a friend. Yes, I can acknowledge for the clergy and non-clergy alike in this room, and thank God joining us online, that these words have been used so often that they become quite the cliche. But I have to say that they're a cliche for a reason. We clergy are always looking for the sod, the secret hidden meaning within these lines of texts. But here, the meaning lies in its simplicity. Tonight, I am blessed to be physically and spiritually surrounded by Rav Rabbah, so many teachers who have also become friends. Rabbi Melissa Beyer-Whitman, who joined us for a few moments earlier, was probably the first rabbi who ever gave me the blessing of time. And now that I know how little time cantors and rabbis have in their schedules, I am even more grateful for her ability to set aside an hour almost every single week, somehow, to pour knowledge and wisdom and love into me. What an incredible model of a rabbi, and I look forward to celebrating you in just a few weeks, or really a couple months at the community synagogue. My dear and beloved teacher, Rabbi Roli Matalon, it is such an understatement to say that you are the best of the best. There are so many things that I want to say about you. Again, we might be here all night. I'm just going to say two. Maybe three. Maybe I'll say three. I have a bullet point list in front of me of about 12, and I'll choose carefully. The first thing that I think anyone notices when they step into BJ is that spirituality is the top priority. It is not enough to work as a community. It's not enough to work as a small group or even as individuals. But each of us has to discover who we are inside, connect ourselves to that spark of the divine that speaks to us, that shows us that we are a part of this huge world that Heschel is always talking about. Spirituality is the top priority. Only when we're able to find those sparks of the divine, those true sparks of the divine, can we connect with others without inhibitions, without any barriers. And that's one of the things that you've given to me. You have poured into this fellowship of now, I think, 37 people? 34 people. The kind of love and care and beauty that I am not sure most people would be able to do. Certainly most clergy. And you have changed each of us for the better. You are also dedicated to bringing us together with Jews from throughout the world, understanding that when we sing each other's music, that thread of connection becomes thicker, and the way that we see each other is also something that is no longer like seeing a stranger. It is as if we are seeing ourselves in another person. It is amazing the kind of music that you have woven not only through BJ, but as a result through congregations throughout all of the United States, connecting us to this deep understanding of peoplehood that we so desperately need today, perhaps more than anything else. We're going to be here for another hour if I continue, but I will say that you have really changed me and shifted who I am as a rabbi and as a person. And I'm going to be grateful for forever. There are so many senior and peer teachers and friends here today who have constantly inspired me, who have been able to open me up to new possibilities, who have been able to help me see a greater vision and help me see what's possible. And as I'm looking around, I am stopping myself from saying all of your names. I want to thank the search committee, Andrew Kasdan, Amy Lemley, Jennifer Collinger, Jocelyn Sontag, Lori Gertzog, Matthew Levine, Nicole Reisner, Warren Haber, and Steve Mascott, who all worked tirelessly in this process. And I also want to thank all of your spouses and families who I'm sure really gave of their time in order for you to go about this search. And also thank God that you chose me. To Margie Miller, our past president, thank you for enabling our amazing scholar in residence this weekend in honor of your beloved Morgan of blessed memory. There you are. And for enriching our community with the gift of Rolly's teaching and music tomorrow. To Warren Haber, now our past president, he's not here. He wrote me an email. He alas, is out of the country, but thinking of all of us in this moment. His trademark constant dancing during services before was behind us, and now when he attends, we're able to see and really absorb his joy from a clergy standpoint from the Bema. And that is just so special. To our pianist and conductor, Pete Malinverney, who it's not musical, but sometimes when we're sermonizing, you give us a hearty amen, amen. And I have to say that every time I hear that, when it's me up here or someone else, I'm really grounded in something larger. It's very special. Brings a smile to my face. And it is so special that you are able, with the help of Jerome, Idan, now Gilad, to lift us up and our prayers up in incredible music, and we're really grateful for you. I'm grateful for you. To our security team led by Chris Napolitano, our facilities staff led by Al Betancourt, and our reception and administrative staff, with a special shout out to the B'nai Mitzvah coordinator and executive assistant, Suzanne Saperstein, without whom our jobs would just be a huge mess. She saves the day every day. You make WRT a place where we can all be seen, a place that runs efficiently, and the amount of fires that you all put out every single day, seen and unseen, really allows us to be all that we can be. To our senior staff, Amy Rosberg, Sharon Stiefel, Danielle Feigenbaum, Laura Rosen Apostolou, Rebecca Roseman, Jen Brantuk, yes, and Daniela Camus-Brown, led by our executive director, Ellie Kornwright, as well as the rest of our WRT professional staff. Thank you so much for keeping this place running, behind the scenes and in front of the scenes. And today, it's such a huge honor to be installed as part of one of the most talented clergy teams I've ever had the pleasure to get to know. Rabbi Blake has more to teach than I could ever learn. Where are you? Oh, you're all the way back there. From his ability to absorb incredible amounts of knowledge at any notice, his fundraising prowess, or his incredible oratory skills that allow him to communicate to a congregation that holds a wide variety of views in a time of challenge in our world and our country, I just hope that I can be one piece of the rabbi that you are. To our incredible senior cantor, Amanda Kleinman, you implement a new visionary musical understanding of what it means to be a cantor. You lead with such an incredible prowess in pastoral care, seeing every single one of us, not just as the many different things that are going on in our world, but who we are inside. And then you shift and move with every change, with every word. We are lucky to be in your presence. To our associate rabbi and the powerful leader of the JLL, Leah, you are an incredible educator, and we heard this phrase the other day, reach before you teach. You really embody that. I know that you know every single face and every single name and every single interest of all of our JLL students. You don't even use flashcards for it. You allow us all to feel comfortable here as learners, and you allow the next generation of Jews to feel comfortable in a synagogue. Something very special today. To Cantor Mia Fram Davidson, who was unable to join us tonight, she was the first person that I led High Holidays with in a serious way and worked in tandem on the intergenerational service. And Mia, even though given her extensive tenure here at WRT, she treated me like a peer. And that was an amazing gift. To my very good friend, Cantor Isaac Sanadasor, I'm gonna cry like you now. It has been such a gift to walk this path with you. You are a gift to our congregation and every person who meets you. You don't just look like you're listening to us all. The depth of your soul, we cannot reach down there. You are ready to move through challenging issues with every person. You're ready to give love and care, even when you've been wronged. You touch each and every one of us with your music and how special you are. It's an honor to walk this path with you. Finally, to my family who has joined me today, to Miranda's family, really my family, who is here, I think, is this the first Shabbat service you've ever been to? Maybe I'm outing you. You all have opened your eyes to me, welcomed me into your home. When I was working at BJ, Miranda's mom lives on the Upper West Side, and she allowed us to stay there every Shabbat. That was no small feat, I'm sure. We did a lot of laundry there. I'm not sure if it was easy to accept that you were going to have a rabbi in the family, but I'm really glad that you have. To my family, to my parents, and my sister and brother, Melanie and Sam, who are not here. Though we are short people, I somehow stand on giants. You have supported me and loved me in every single thing that I've ever tried to do. It is because of your generosity and your hard work that I'm able to be here today. To the light of my life, Miranda Bass. Really, she likes to be called Miranda Platkow now. It is because of the place of tranquility that you hold for me in your heart that I'm able to be a rabbi at all. It is so special, the relationship that we have and the love that we share. I'll say more about it later, maybe. Friends, from day one, each of you have been my teachers. And as I have gotten to know the WRT family, I hope to say that each of you will be my friends. It is you live by the words. You cannot ignore it. We cannot ignore it. I hope that I will one day be able to live by those words in the way that you have exemplified just in this 1 year. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, Yasher Koach.
After long last.
We rise for Aleinu, page 586.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד.
Memory is sacred. It reminds us that love does not die, people do. It allows us to continue to give love out of the love that our loved ones put into the world. And so at this moment in our service of sacred memory, we will honor the mourners in our community by asking you to rise in the following order. If you have laid to rest a loved one within the last 7 days, would you please rise? Will those who are within 30 days, a shaloshim of remembrance for a loved one, please rise? If you are within a first year of remembering your loved one who has died, would you please rise? And if you're commemorating a yahrzeit tonight, the anniversary of your loved one's death, would you please rise? Ti zichronam baruch, let all of our loved ones' memories be for blessing. We'll ask the entire congregation to stand with you in sympathy, fellowship, and in love, as we remember first those taken from our WRT family in the last 4 weeks. Loris James, mother of Kristen Friedman, Susan Oakes Phillips, mother of Lawrence, Jacqueline, and Carol Oakes, Judith H. Fox, sister of Bruce Enkel, Adele Zimbal, mother of Ellen Rabina, Miriam Friedman, mother of David Friedman, Emmanuel Donald Goodman, father of Amy Breyer, David Schechter, loved one of Josh Block, and those the anniversary of whose deaths we commemorate tonight: Dora Abramowitz, Edith Alper, Avel Austin, Robert Bader, Pauline Berman, Sidney E. Blank, Jay Block, Stephen Boysnack, Barbara Flagg, Gabriel Friedberg, Abraham A. Geltzer, Edith Goller, Roberta Sloat, Eleanor Henkoff, Margaret Klepner, Edward Kluback, Louis Lynn, Gertrude Lyons, Bella Tabak, Florence Martin, Lucille Menon, Bernice Meyerson, Marion Miller, Morgan Miller, Annette Pollard, Selig Popek, Judy Rosen, Mia Rubenfeld, Richard Razumna, Ruth Safian, Nelson Salzman, Martin Simon, Arthur Singer, Abby Smith, Betty Jane Stern, Mark David Stern, David Strager, Sheldon Traeger, Betty Weil Weissenberg, Dorothy Williams, Elaine K. Winnick, Kay Zalesnik, and Harry I. Zitzerman. If I have inadvertently mispronounced your loved one's name, or if you have names to add for our commemoration, kindly speak them at this time. Let all of these names be for blessing as we affirm the presence of the author of life through the words of the Mourner's Kaddish. These can be found in your prayer books on 598. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, b'alma divrach hirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon uv'yomechon uv'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, ba'agala v'izman karri v'imru amen. Yehei shemei Rabbah mevarach le'alam alamei amaya, Yiparach v'yishtabach v'yipa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemed kudusha b'richu le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tush b'chata v'nechemata da'amiran b'alma v'yimru amen. Yehei shalom rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. Oseh shalom bimromav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen.
Ose shalom bimromav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimeru amen.
What an inspiring indeed. Thank you to all of those who have come to celebrate the installation of Rabbi Plotkow. And on behalf of the committee that Lori Gertzog and I co-chaired to find you, we welcome you again. I get to thank some people too. First, I'd like to thank Nancy Michaels, Vicki Kravitz, and Judy Gross for greeting us tonight so warmly, and to Alexander and Gabriel Mutterpearl for blowing the shofar so beautifully. And we look forward to and are excited to be having the three bar and bat mitzvahs this week, tomorrow morning and tomorrow afternoon, and on Thursday. Congratulations to all of you in advance. And now for the announcements of what's to come. You've already heard about the Marjorie and Morgan Miller Scholar in Residence Weekend that will continue tomorrow. And what time does the service start? 9:30. So it'll be beautiful, and I implore you to enjoy that. And in addition, I want to tell you that this evening we started the day at 5:30 with a pre-neg. For those of you who came, I hope you'll respond with the QR code and give us some feedback if you can. And for those who didn't, talk to those who did, because it was really cool. And there will be 9 more over the course of this year, the next one being on October 24th, and all are welcome. So please, please. Later this week, for 3 Thursdays, Rabbi Blake will be teaching Getting Ready for the High Holidays. It's online learning on Zoom. And that'll be on the 11th, 3 Thursdays in September, but I think we've had at least one already. One already, the 11th and the 18th, 10:15. All right, 10:15. And then we're going to be blessed with having Cantor Becky Mann coming again soon for the Slichot service on September 13th at 7:30. It is a wonder, another classmate of Cantor Sonodosors that you'll really enjoy that. It's great. And we have a speaker, Dr. Michael Simbrikoff, who's going to tell a tale of 2 vaccines. And not to spoil the surprise, it's the COVID and shingles vaccine. And Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. At this time, as we conclude our service, we would love for all of Rabbi Platkow's clergy colleagues and friends to come up for Havdalah. No, to come up. It's not night. Come up to help us conclude our service.
That
Oh,
it
good.
might be Havdalah
there we
already.
go. Please join us on the bima. I see you. Your presence here has meant so much. Thank you. We're going to lift up grateful hearts and a little bit of the sweet fruit of the vine as we celebrate what we already know to be true. Kosi Revaya, our cup runneth over with joy, with goodness. We invite the congregation to rise. Let me get it.
We return, we
Return.
we return,
We return.
we return, return again. We return,
We return.
we return,
We return.
we return.
Please join with me. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam,
Asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodsho b'ava uvratzon hinchilanu, zikaron lema'aseh v'reishit, bihu yom techila lemikra'e kodesh, zecher l'tziat Mitzrayim, kivanu v'acharta, ve'otanu kidashta, mikol amim, v'shabbat kodshecha, ve'ava uvratzon, hinchatanu, Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat. Amen. You've had the time to get to know the people standing to your right and left, so put your arms around them as we make motzi together. Give thanks for the blessings that strengthen and sustain. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz. B'teavon Shabbat Shalom.